This recording is Volume 6 in the Pardon My Blooper series of unintended indiscretions before microphone and camera. It is intended as a sympathetic tribute to the members of the radio and television industry who have been the victims of these classic boners. On a local foreign language radio station in New York, this announcement was heard for Schwartz's department store.
With the hot weather upon us now, comfort is the important thing in the July and August dog days. Make the point to stop in at Schwartz department store for the latest in Bermuda Schwartz.
I can promise you that Betty Crocker cake mixers bake perfect cakes. When your husband comes home tonight, surprise him. We know your husband will enjoy Betty Crocker upside down.
And now stay tuned for the news.
On radio's popular Hobby Lobby, movie star Stephen Fetchit was telling of his hobby collecting dice.
Well, Mr. Elman, these are loaded dice. These are not like the other ones I collected. These are loaded, and you can't mess with these. You use these dice, you bound to crap regular.
World-famous Lowell Thomas, one of the airwave's best-known commentators, has a sense of humor which is sometimes uncontrollable.
President Eisenhower today visited the Chocolate City. The president driving into Hershey, Pennsylvania to celebrate his 63rd birthday. 30,000 or more people were cheering him. All the folks who make Hershey chocolate with and without nuts. Fred Waring was on hand to conduct a chorus of 1,800. Ben Hogan to give an exhibition on how he drives a golf ball. And that was especially to our shopping president. A demonstration by that famous Ben Hogan flower golf.
Well, I won't putter around with that one. Instead, I'll tee off with a tip to those car buyers who like to drive a hard bargain. Now your local Kaiser and Henry J. dealer wants you to know about the new low Henry J. price. Only $1,399 plus rate and local taxes. And that means the lowest down payment, lowest monthly payments on any new car. In fact, after down payment, you can own a new Henry J for less than $10 a week. And I'll need $10 a week from now on, so come on in tomorrow.
Let's listen to this sportscaster's description of a football team's ace kicker.
The score at the half remained 6-6, but during the third quarter, the Crimson really came to life, scoring a touchdown on 8 successive plays. The turning point came when the coach sent in his ass passer. Ace passer.
And don't forget to go to your neighborhood theater and see To Hell and Back, starring Audie Murphy, World War II hero and battle-scared veteran.
A noted Hollywood commentator inadvertently gave her listeners this unusual bit of news.
It's that kind of a picture. Take the kiddies with you. Today, one of our best-known movie personalities traveled incognito to Hot Springs for his annual bath.
The word indigent means poor or needy. Listen to what happened to this baseball manager who was plugging the All-Star baseball game.
So we urge you to show up, because if you want to see some of the greatest pitching and the greatest hitting from some of the best players in the game, when you show up, and remember that the proceeds from these All-Star games go to indigent ball players.
On a country barn dance show, the rural announcer had a struggle with a French phrase and came out the loser in this manner.
We're going to hoop it up and have a real dazzler. Charlie Docker will do the calling for the Paul Jones. Food? This is the best you ever had. Right after the barn dance, the piece of ass resistance is fried chicken.
Out in the Midwest, local listeners heard this spot announcement for a thriving gaseteria.
Serve yourself the modern way at White's Gaseteria. It's just drive up and fill her up. And while you're at it, take time out for lunch. White's has the best food on the road. White's the finest spot on the turnpike to eat and get gas.
Here's an incident that occurred on a Man in the Street program.
Your 5th trip to New York. Hey, you two really do get around.
Yes, we do.
Well, now, what about last year? Where did you go then? Last year, we took a trip around the world.
And this year we're going to go someplace else.
Announcers are human too, and some of them, despite their professional training, can lose their perspective. Listen to what happened to this sports announcer who thought he had been cut off the air.
In the National League, the Cubs edged out Milwaukee 2-1. The Cards were taken by the Dodgers 6-4, behind the 3-hit pitching of Don Newcomb. And hey, you pulled out my AC power. You in the brown suit I'm supposed to be on the air. You pulled out my plug. Well, put the damn thing back in. You pulled out my AC, you baboon. Well, damn it, somebody did. Okay, all right. In tennis at Forest Hills, the national tennis doubles got underway this afternoon.
You have to be careful when you're dealing with Junior on radio. Popular Art Linkletter got tripped up when he asked a youngster, "Who do you resemble most, your mother or father?"
I don't look like my mommy or my daddy. I look like the mailman.
Microphone equipment is becoming smaller and less conspicuous. At a wrestling match, an announcer was busily describing the action in the ring when he was approached by a wrestling fan.
It's nice to see we got such a big crowd here tonight. It's a great turnout. We got some wonderful matches for you. Now, the main event of the evening is going to be 2 falls out of 3. Chief Bender is going to wrestle with Sandor Kovacs. Promises to be real exciting. But first, let's get a word in from our sponsor.
Hey, Mike, where's the can?
Continuing with our recorded memory lane, we hear 2 real old favorites. We'll spin this platter now with Only a Bird in a Gilded Cage on the front side, and I Wonder Who's Kissing Her Now on the back side.
Here is the case of an announcer who confused an earnest plea for savings bonds with a special health bulletin.
You owe it to yourself to invest in your future. Don't forget to buy government savings bonds. Help stamp out America.
Good evening. There is very little weather throughout the United States.
Here is an incident that occurred on an audience participation program where the contestant should have left well enough alone.
All right, lady, now this is your chance to win $5 silver. Can you please tell me the meaning of the word octopus?
Let me see. I think I know. Octopus. Is that a fish on the bottom of the ocean? It has several testicles? Well, what are they all laughing at?
That's all right, lady. Don't feel so bad. You're not the only one to get that word off all
Our annual report of the committee reveals that health conditions aren't all they should be. The city's beaches have an appalling amount of litter, and the check of the municipal swimming pools reveals some startling figures.
In a Midwestern town, a bedding concern rented space from a funeral home. Let's listen to one of their commercials.
So, friends, Beauty Rest mattresses are made to give you that extra support to make your night's sleep the best, the most comfortable you've ever had. See for yourself. If you want to ensure yourself of the rest you deserve, visit Johnson's Funeral Parlor.
Aside from the high degree of surgical efficiency here at the municipal hospital, the student nurses are really something to see. Anybody would welcome a session in bed with one of these beautiful nurses.
Let's eavesdrop on a Hollywood starlet being interviewed at the premiere of her newest picture.
You know, it's wonderful to see someone so young who's so serious about it.
Well, I am. Really, I am.
Well, what's next on the program? Broadway?
Well, I don't think so. I like Hollywood, except for one thing.
What's that?
I'd like a change from all that spooky stuff. You know, mummies and Frankensteins and monsters. You know what the trouble is? I'm getting tight. I'm sick and tired of being cast in those horror pictures.
Here's a disc jockey who got too mellow for his own good.
Can't you smell that magnolia there? and those honeysuckles. Can't you see that Spanish moss weaving from old weeping willow? Uh-huh. I don't have to tell you. It's Stephen Foster music time with those wonderful songs of the old South.
Television has its share of weather girls who read quickly changing weather reports.
Here's your weather report for Rochester and vicinity. Tomorrow, fair and mild with stormy gales, winds and gusts up to 60 miles an hour, with sleet expected.
This recording is Volume 4 in the Pardon My Blooper series of unintended indiscretions before microphone and camera. It is intended as a sympathetic tribute to the members of the radio and television industry who have been the victims of these classic boners.
Starting next week at the Paramount Theater, you'll see that rollicking comedy smash hit Paleface, starring Bob Hope, America's favorite comedian, and lovely Jane Russell. Boy, what a pair!
Listen now to this classic moment from an audience participation human interest program.
And now our next contestant was chosen right from our studio audience. And listen to that little laugh she has there. It's so cute. Now, what's your name, man? Well, Miss Johnson, you don't mind if I call you Hilda, do you? And where are you from, Hilda? Well, Hilda, what are you going to do with the money if you win?
Listen to this disc jockey's introduction to Montavani's Lazy Gondolier.
The Signs and Music continues now as we hear Montavani's most recent recording from London, Lousy Gondolier.
The floodwaters in Connecticut are receding. All train service has been reestablished. The good weather news for tomorrow is clearing and fair. And here in the metropolitan area, all ferries are operating normally.
A French-Canadian announcer blooped his way through this one.
This is the Dominion Network of the Canadian Broadcasting Castration.
You can save while you earn. Why not be smart? Where you work or where you bank, save up for a rainy day. Join the Blonde a Month plan.
This is KCIW, Texas City. Texas City.
The most annoying thing, the most wonderful thing about this new DuPont paint is that it leaves no annoying panty odor.
Let's listen now to a commercial for McPeter's Funeral Parlor.
And friends, your loved ones can receive no finer care than that offered by McFuneral's Peter Parlor.
A young lady on a children's program relating the story of Cinderella came up with the following.
Suddenly, Cinderella looked up at the clock. It was striking 12. As she ran from the palace, she dropped her slipper. But when she reached the door, she was again in rags, as the wee 15 hours struck.
Television pitchmen talk fast and sometimes talk themselves into trouble. As, for example,
A worn-out rug can spoil the appearance of a beautiful home. But here's what you can do to correct this situation. Just send a postcard addressed to Rugs, care of this station, and we will have our experts come into your home and examine your worn-down files.
here's a moment from one of your favorite quiz programs.
That's absolutely right. And now, we continue. Take another number.
Let me see. 47.
47. Here we are. Here's your question. Now, there was a famous French author. In fact, there was a father and son who wrote many, many famous stories. Now, we want the name of the father. He is the man who wrote The Black Tulip, After 20 Years, and The Three Musketeers. What is the name of this famous French author?
The Three Musketeers. That rings a wait a minute. I got it in the tip of my tongue.
Come on.
Oh, golly, I'm nervous. What do you say? Oh, Alexander Dumbass. Oh, Henry Dumbass.
Let's listen to this recipe for crisp crab salad.
And for all you guests here at the lunchtime matinee, we have a real treat in store. A crisp crab,
And from Mexico City comes word that Patty McCormick, the American female bullfighter, is resting comfortably in a hospital after having been gored by an infatuated bull.
A popular television singer was doing a production number that involved a hunting scene. He appeared in front of a fireplace with a bearskin rug with a dog at his side. The dog's tail extended precariously close to his feet.
Where have you been, Lord, from the night sun? Oh, make my bed soon, for I'm weary from hunting.
You are tuned to WOKO, Albany's worst station.
Our next case is that of Mrs. G. Gale. What is your problem, madam?
Well, it concerns my husband.
Would you step closer to the microphone, please, and speak louder?
Sorry. My husband, we've been happily married for 14 years, and I just don't know what's happened. All of a sudden, I don't know how to explain it, but suddenly my husband pays no attention to me, and I try.
Would you please get to the point, madam?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Anthony, I will. Well, it seems that yesterday my father came down and he castrated my husband about the subject.
I understand your problem, madam.
Well, he...
I know. Now, would you hold 1 second,
No, I
please?
figured my father was a
Would
man.
you wait 1
my
second,
husband's a
please,
man.
madam? One moment, please. Madam, 1 moment.
I'm sorry.
On a science program, a learned professor was demonstrating the principles of friction.
Now I take my ball bearings here, and I put them at the top of the net. And I roll my balls down the rail. Now, you see, they are no longer in a state of inertia. They are moving. There's gravity involved, and there's the friction involved. But once you get into movement, you have a different set of controls entirely. All your movements are controlled by physics.
A young lady pinch hitting for Betty Furness was unfamiliar with the equipment she was demonstrating. Here was the result.
There's no reason to be satisfied with old-style refrigerators. This Westinghouse is completely automatic. A self-defrosting feature takes care of that. Let's look inside. Just the slightest push on this snap-open door, and, wait a minute. Let's push, wait a minute. Oh, my. Oh, this opens. Well, I guess you'll just have to take my word for it.
Look out, boys! Here comes the sheriff with his possum.
Friday is poultry night, remember. All ladies present will get a free goose. That is, all ladies will get a goose for free.
Be with us again next Saturday at 10 p.m. for the program High Fidelity, a program designed to help music lovers increase their reproduction.
A young lady from Boston was being interviewed. She was asked about her vacation.
Where are you from originally?
Oh, I come from Boston.
From Boston? It's a very lovely city. Well, about this trip, where did you go? All through New York State?
Oh, yes, we did.
And where did you visit?
Well, of course, we went by car, you know.
Uh-huh.
We visited all the national parks, you know.
Oh, that's wonderful. Did you get up to Lake George?
Oh, sure.
Did you like it?
Loved it.
Wonderful. How about Ticonderoga?
Oh, sure. We had a marvelous time. We visited the old fort.
Two of the greatest names in early radio were Billy Jones and Ernie Hare, the Happiness Boys. Perhaps some old-timers may remember this incident.
How do you do, everybody? How do you do? How do you do, everybody? How do you do? Billy Joe had early hair with the interwoven pair. Honey-a-doo-a-doo-a-doo-a-doo-a-doo. Hey, Billy, tell me something else. You know a car that starts with B? That's a Buick. That's right. Now, before we get on to a car song, how about a car that starts with H? That's a automobile. And a car that starts with P. With P? Don't kid me. No car starts with P.
The next time you visit your grocer, be sure to ask for Blue Ribbon. You'll love its delicious freshness. Remember, too, that Blue Ribbon broad is double raked.
The following is what happened to a busy announcer who had done several commercials in one day.
So light up to pleasure with a really filtered smoke. Why not follow the example of millions who light up, puff, and you'll say, my, that's good coffee.
We take you now to BBC in England.
Now, here's a request from a Miss Kay McTavish of Edinburgh. It's an old Highland favourite, the Blue Grouse of Scotland.
Bloopers occur for many reasons. When a speech in a script is not completed on one page, it can have surprising results.
The little engine tried and tried. He huffed and puffed, but he just couldn't seem to move. And then the little engine went into the roundhouse to have a leak. Fixed in his boiler.
At an overtime hockey game sponsored by a brewery, one of the announcers had to drink a bottle of beer with each commercial announcement.
The Detroit Red Wings and the Montreal Canadiens in the final game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We've been at this game since 8:15 last night. Here it is 2:30, and in just a moment we'll be going back on the ice for the third, yes, you heard me correctly, the third overtime, sudden death overtime. An unprecedented event here in Stanley Cup playoffs. But first, a word from our sponsor about a product that's good anytime.
Boy, these Stanley Cup playoffs are really exciting. You want to know about the beer? All right, I'll tell you. Non-cemented, it's dark and it's light, and it's got no sugar, it's got no body, it's a good beer. What more can I tell you?
In 10 seconds, it'll be 7 o'clock. Stay tuned for One Man's Fanny. We make this offer to help you discover the real smoking pleasure of these truly fine cigars. Cut the mic. It's string time, tonight featuring the music of Phil Spitali and his 40 Pieces.
Joey Adams, popular comedian, author, and MC, had this incident take place on one of his audience participation programs.
And for your correct answer, Mrs. Rose, here are 15 shiny silver dollars.
15 silver dollars? Isn't that nice? Oh, thank you.
Yes, and in addition to the makers of the Siemens bathing suit, this lovely bikini suit, all yours.
A bathing suit. What do you got to do today, maybe, to get that beautiful satin dress thing? Oh, do it for yourself, class. It's very nice. I'm always going to do it for yourself. It's not popular. Open the suit, all right. The bathing suit, I don't have no use. Bella said, oh, nice bathing suit, but you didn't size from the suit. What size is the suit? Like,
well, what does it say on the label?
Let me see. It says right here, tight. It's tight. And I'm taking 44 on top of everything. I think it's going to be to tighten the clutch.
We do know that Mr. Dulles has returned from Geneva with...
I see Mrs. Lucille Carter, the charwoman of the Cultural Committee, coming down the aisle. All eyes are on her as she picks her seat.
And if you answer this question, you'll be richer by $25. I'll name 5 parts of the body beginning with the letter B.
Brains, bones, blood, balls. I mean eyeballs.
Before our next recorded selection, here is our daily birth announcement from the Municipal Hospital. Last night, at the hospital, 42 babies were born. And now, don't blame me.
A remote is a broadcast that originates away from the station. On this annual Christmas show, children waited to hear a remote from Santa's studio at the North Pole. Let's listen in.
And now, children, as part of our annual Christmas party, Uncle John is going to contact Santa Claus.
Thank you, Miss Christmas. We'll try it now. How are you standing by, North Pole? Come in, North Pole. Come in, North Pole.
Come in, North Pole. Santa Claus.
That is cute. I wonder why we can't get it. Maybe we should try it once more.
Come in, Santa Claus.
Come in, North Pole.
Have I got a line?
I wonder why we can't get to it.
Where are you, Santa Claus? Santa Claus, where are you?
We take you now to a special broadcast from the deck of the USS United States. This incident occurred while the ship was under construction.
This show comes to you from the USS United States. This ship is being built mostly from aluminum. As a matter of fact, the only wood on it is said to be the piano and the block in the kitchen that the butcher used to sing on.
A novice announcer on a religious program was getting frantic signals from the engineer that time was running out.
And I say unto you, if you do not love thy neighbor, there can be no peace of the mind. There can be no greeting of the sunny day without discontent in your heart. There can be no...
Amen. This is the CBS Radio Network. What the final result will be, we do not know at this time. But we do know that Mr. Dulles has returned from Geneva with high hopes. This report of the conference has come to us from reliable White Horse sources.
Here's another incident from one of the popular quiz programs heard by millions.
Now, before we get to your next question, let me ask you a few questions. You are nervous, are you?
A little.
What are you nervous about?
I don't know.
Listen, let me talk about your family for a second. How many brothers you got?
7.
7 brothers? How many sisters?
I've got 7 sisters, too.
7 brothers and 7 sisters?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, what a family. You said you were married, didn't you?
Yeah.
How many children do you have?
1.
Only 1?
Give me a chance. I've only been married a month.
Here's an excerpt from an interview with a famous explorer.
Well, it's not always dangerous chasing animals. Sometimes it's just plain fun. Especially on our last trip. Why don't you come along sometime?
I'd like to. It must be a lot of fun trapping wild animals, especially the rare ones.
Yes, for example, chasing wild ants in Borneo.
It looks like the White House intervention has been successful. The coal miners won't go out on strike after all. It's good news to all of us that in the cold of winter, John L. Lewis has dropped his union suit.
This is KABR, Aberdeen, South Dakota, operating on a frequency of 1,430 kilocycles with 100 plots of wire.
Now, here again is that current tit of the day, cherry pink and apple blossom white.
Stop in and see this new appliance at your neighborhood Zem store. Remember, you can be sure if it's a Westinghouse laundromat. This is the CBS Radio Wetwork. Did I say Wetwork? And tomorrow at 5 on Channel 7, Happy Long Cassidy will be here to wish you a Happy New Year.
Here's an interview with a noted Hollywood fashion authority.
With your experience in the lingerie line, would you say that the lines this year are more severe?
Well, no, not really. You've seen more or less of a reversion to the Victorian periods with the crinolines and the petticoats.
Yes.
And, but foundation garments haven't changed.
Really?
No, not at all. Women are wearing the same thing in brassieres this year.
Sports announcers are human. Sometimes even they can be carried away by the excitement of the moment.
28 seconds to go. There's the snap back to center. Looks like a pass. It is a pass. Intercepted by Ostrowski, number 14. He's up to the 10, to the 20, to the 30. He passed the middle. Twice. He's running wild. The kid's got it. Score it. Look at the Popovich run.
You'll hear about these wonderful Hostess cakes during the course of the next commercial.
We promise you the most exciting trip of your life. Just imagine those perfect days under bright skies on white coral sand. This is the best time of the year for a perfect vacation. So remember, when you fly to Bermuda, be sure to take a plane.
A television salesman was demonstrating a new do-it-yourself airplane kit for youngsters.
Well, now, you can have this model plane all for yourself, and it's a lot of fun. You just take this kit, and it comes completely set up for you. All the parts are ready to put together. You take the part, and well, this section here is, just a minute now, it must be a little stiff, but this is a very educational toy. It teaches children how to cut.
An open microphone can be dangerous. Let's tune in on a local high school amateur hour.
Now here's another time check, 7:35 a.m. And while your coffee's brewing, let's take a continuing look at the news. In the Asia area, today more heavy fighting reported on the China front.
The unpredictable ad-lib has given more than one announcer gray hair, as this man-on-the-street program interview announcer learned.
Here we are with our man-on-the-street microphone at the corner of 7th and Market Street. And we're about to have another one of our daily programs interviewing, questioning folks from in and around our area. First of all, let's find an interviewee here. Here's a charming young lady. Would you like to talk to us today?
Hell no.
Weather forecast programs very often originate from airports, with weather personnel doubling as announcers. Their inexperience and lack of suitable studio facilities sometimes produce unexpected results.
Good afternoon. Agricultural bulletin for northwestern South Carolina today through Wednesday is for temperatures to average about 5 degrees above the normal of 76. Hold it a minute, will you, down there?
Hey, would you hold a minute while I make the broadcast?
Okay, let's start over, boys. Good afternoon. The agricultural bulletin for northwestern South Carolina today through Wednesday is for temperatures to average about 5 degrees above the normal for the period of 76.
Hey, would you hold a minute?
Continued warm weather expected. Our low temperature this morning was 70 after yesterday's high of 93. And now back to your studio.
Okay, boys. One away.
Well, sorry, folks, we won't be able to spin the rest of that one for you. We seem to be having a little bit of turntable trouble. That record seems to have been broken. That was My Old Flame with a Cracketer.
The practical joker is found everywhere, even in the radio and television industry, as this announcer found out on the first day of April.
And the bill goes to Washington next week for the president's signature. Here's a bulletin just handed me from the wires of the Associated Press. Washington, D.C. The White House has just announced that it's counting on all of us to make our victory gardens a success this year. New developments in fertilizers ensure a bumper crop for everyone. Let's get those tomatoes and cucumbers underway. Be sure to have a good supply of humus on hand. Your victory garden is your share of... What the hell is this?
April Fool.
An engineer was responsible for this blooper. He accidentally threw a switch that cut off the local program and substituted the current network show.
It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for our featured guest, the prominent author, lecturer, and social leader, Mrs. Elwood Dodge, who is
able to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Well, it looks like the end of the cold spell. Spring seems to be on its way. Residents of this area will find relief in the warm mass headed this way. The warm mass of air headed this way. There's excitement in store in our $1 million movie tonight with Ann Sheridan. Stay tuned as Phillips Milk and Magnesia brings you Woman on the Run.
The fabulous Davy Crockett fad was climaxed with this announcement.
Calling all parents, calling all kids, here's your chance to buy a Davy Crockett bed. Yes, friends, Hunt's Furniture Store has Davy Crockett bed. It's a twin-size bed, just right for the kids, with scenes of Davy Crockett in action on the mattress.
And so we conclude another in the Pardon My Blooper series of classic radio and television boners. Additional albums in this series will be released soon. Until we meet then, this is your narrator leaving you with the words of Alexander Pope, who said, "To err is human, to forgive divine."
There have been many ball players who have been able to handle a bat from either the left or right side of the batter's box. But I think most sports writers will agree that Mickey Mantle is one of the greatest swish hitters of all times. I beg your pardon. I mean, Mickey is one of the greatest switch hitters of all times. Switch hitters of all times. That's Mickey.
Too many products can confuse an announcer. Here's a case in point.
Start your day right, Mother. Make your breakfast a hearty one and enjoy a truly tasty cup of coffee made from the finest South American tobacco.
Technical difficulties with a PA system during the broadcast of a speech by a well-known lecturer brought forth this startling result.
Unions did not become important in our national life until after 1825, when several unions opposed such practices as imprisonment for debt and favored free schools and the 10-hour day. The first large and temporarily successful national union
Hey, Charlie, can you fix that speaker, please? There seems to be a screw loose in the speaker.
founded in 18...
Have you ever wondered what would happen to a radio performer if he developed hiccups during a broadcast? Let's listen to this commentator who had no choice but to carry on.
Membership of the United Nations is open to all peace-loving nations which accept the obligations of the United Nations Charter and in the judgment of the organization are able and willing to carry out the obligations. The original members of the United Nations are those countries which signed the Declaration by United Nations of January 1st, 1942, or took part in the San Francisco Conference, and which signed and ratified the Charter. Other countries can be admitted by the General Assembly upon the recommendation of the Security Council. 9 countries have thus been admitted. The present December 1952 number of members is 60.
Have a drink of water.
Thank you very much.
And for you farmers now, remember, the name is TRAP. T-R-A-P. TRAP insecticide will trap and kill all bugs and fungus and will make your crop grow the way nature intended it. So don't forget, it's trapped for a healthier crop.
A well-known former jockey, now a sportscaster, came out with this description before a big race at the Hialeah racetrack.
One of the unusual sidelights in today's running of the Widener Handicap here at Hialeah concerns Rock Castle. It wasn't so long ago that this horse broke its leg, and it looked as if they were going to have to shoot the owner.
So get your vacation spot fast and enjoy every fun-packed minute of it. Don't delay. Call today and learn all about how you can get there fast and save money with Trans-American Airlines half-ass rates.
On Climax, popular TV dramatic series, a young lady was describing the terrific value of a new automobile.
Try it for yourself. Your dealer will be glad to give you a chance to get behind the wheel. Feel that power. Float on that smooth action. And then be surprised that a car like this can be yours for the amazingly low, unbelievable price of $7,200. Well, that should be $2,700.
And friends, if you're in New York, you can drop by the Majestic Theater and take in Fanny. We understand that Josh Logan's Fanny is the biggest thing in town. I mean it.
Words and phrases often used at home inadvertently find themselves going out over the airwaves.
Let me get this straight. You say when your wife serves dinner, she serves the dessert first?
Yeah, my wife does everything ass backwards.
An announcer doing a commercial for Knickerbocker Beer came on the air after an interview with Jane Mansfield.
Next time you're at your local tavern, restaurant, or delicatessen, don't forget to knock for Bigger Knocker Beer.
Bride and Groom is a program that tries to give newlywed couples all sorts of gifts to help their married life get off to a good start.
And as a final gift for your wedding, we have a wonderful surprise for you. This beautiful original Parisian wedding gown.
Oh, I already have my wedding gown. What I really need is a heavy-duty mattress. Here's an item of local interest. We regret to learn that Mrs. Van Hoofen is recovering from a bad fall on the ice.
And now, on our giant screen, that great circus picture, See Trapeze, starring Burt Lancaster, Tony Curtis, and Gina Lola Brigida in tremendous proportions.
There are some confusing words in this language of ours. For example, brazier, spelled B-R-A-Z-I-E-R, meaning a holder for hot coals. But that isn't the way this announcer saw it.
And the last memo, ladies, from your radio shopping service is a Father's Day reminder. It's barbecue time, and Schmidt's Hardware at 234 Main Street at the corner of Maple is featuring an ideal gift for Dad on his special day. An all-purpose brazier for delicious outdoor meals.
Down in Washington, the legal tangle got to be just too hot for the Teamsters boss union man. According to latest reports received here, Dave Beck has just sent for his liar.
On a household safety program, this is what happened to an announcer and his doctor guest when a question had an unexpected answer.
What would you say is the most dangerous room in the house? I should think either the bathroom or the kitchen. Well, here's a surprise. According to a recent study, 1/4 of all accidents take place in the bedroom. The kitchen and the yard, where they still have yards, are next in order. How do you account for the bedroom being such a dangerous place, Doctor?
The one thing in radio and television that never changes is time. The clock on the wall won't wait for anybody. You have to start your show on time and finish your show on time. When you are running late, things like this are bound to happen.
It's a 9-pound boy born at Memorial Hospital for Mr. and Mrs. Jack Jason of Elm Road. Mrs. Jason was the former Susan Mulhaney of Sudbury. Services will be held tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Morton's Funeral Chapel for Jasper Howard. age 91, who passed on in his sleep yesterday. I'm sorry, our time is running out, so several deaths and births will have to be postponed until next week at the same time.
This is the final warning. Failure to report to your alien officer may result in your deportation or prostitution.
He admitted that although he's traveled almost everywhere and played on almost every course, Sammy Sneed had his greatest difficulty playing the Agorsta golf course.
Television exercise programs are conducted in the wee hours of the morning when even the MC can be bleary-eyed.
And now, ladies, we're going to keep a trim waistline and do an exercise in which you stand perfectly straight with your feet spread apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, bend, 2, 3, 4, straight, 2, 3, 4. That's right, 2, 3, 4. Don't stop, ladies. Fine. Well, ladies, I see our time is running out. We hope we'll see you tomorrow morning with the Stay Fit Career Girl Club. We'll see you at 6 a.m. tomorrow, and until then, remember, it's the early worm that gets the bird.
And from Cheyenne comes word that the 34th Wyoming State Legislature is in its final week of lawbreaking.
Children on radio and television are unpredictable at best. Listen to what happened when a little child was asked, "How did your parents meet?"
My mommy and daddy met when they were roommates in college.
A Philadelphia announcer on station WIP started his station break too early. The engineer threw the switch to make the mic live after the announcement had begun.
IP on the 12th floor of the Gimbal store.
Here is an incident that happened in the early days of radio, resulting in hysteria at the expense of an unwitting and innocent contestant.
All right, young lady, it's your turn. What was the greatest surprise you ever had?
Gee, what a question, do you think? Oh, yeah. The best surprise that I ever had was when my husband got out of the Army. I woke up one morning and he was standing by my bed with his discharge in his hand. Oh, I don't mean that.
And so we conclude another in the Pardon My Bloopers series of classic radio and television boners. Additional albums in this series will be released soon. Until we meet then, this is your narrator leaving you with the words of Alexander Pope, who said, "To err is human, to forgive divine."